Yeah, I might have picked back up a bad habit. Smoking on that. What? Nah, that's just how cold it is outside. Look at that shit. It's about to be a wild video. Might be able to keep y'all entertained. Keep that short attention span going with these visual effects of my air, of my breathing. It's cold out, y'all. It's cold out. But you know the drill. Non-negotiable habits are exactly that, non-negotiable. If it's something you will do, then guess what? It's something you will do. If it's something you might do, if it's something you could do, if it's something you'd like to maybe, possibly, potentially try, well, it doesn't sound like a very consistent habit, if that's the mentality with it. Anyways, today's topic, in the weight room, in the gym, how just to be an absolute savage, an absolute master of the weight room. Have extreme confidence in the weight room, be an exceptional lifter. This is what we're getting into. And it's quite simply becoming the master of sequences. Every lift, every exercise has a list of sequences that if you do them with the right timing, in the right order, with the right cadence, all requiring extreme focus and present moment awareness, if you do those things, you're going to have a better lift, you're going to have a better rep, you're going to have higher quality of reps, you're going to get more reps, over time get more weight, and then get more reps with that increased weight. And on the flip side, if you're just kind of going through the motions, techniques falling apart, I mean, doesn't sound ideal. Doesn't sound. What's all this yellow nonsense? Got two hoodies on. It's too much to keep up with. Got some strings going. For example, on the squat, if every single rep you go big breath in, 2/3 through the belly, maybe the last little bit elevates the chest, crunch down, mini crunch, not where you're actually in flexion, but just enough where it's boom. Pelvis and rib cage are nice and stacked. The tongue is pressed in the roof of the mouth. Perfect feedback with how that bar's sitting on your upper back. And then as you break at the hips and the knees in perfect unison for your body type, as you're feeling that midfoot pressure the entire way down with zero deviation, and as you erupt out of the hole, driving your upper back into the bar equally as hard as you are driving your feet into the ground, that is going to be a magnificent rep. I just got some leg hypertrophy from describing that shit. I'm getting some glute engagement as we speak. And if you could do that, let's say you're going for a 5-rep max on all 5 reps, it's going to be a good set. But what I find a lot of people do is they might do that on rep 1 and then rep 2. Maybe the air is there, but I don't see the abdominals squeeze back in and flex back in. So, okay, you got the air, but you didn't get the brace. That is objectively going to be a more difficult second rep than if you braced. And then maybe they're getting fucked up because fatigue is kicking in, their heart's thumping, and they lose the foot pressure on rep 3. Now that third rep is objectively going to be more difficult than if they had perfect foot pressure. Do you see what I'm getting at? It's only to your benefit, it's only in your best interest to check those boxes every single rep. Every single rep. You'll never skip the abdominal brace, and that's the reason that you were able to get another rep. You'll never go from having really controlled, not necessarily too slow, but very controlled, a very controlled negative, a very controlled descent, and then on the next rep you just kind of jump down into it. It's never going to do you any favors. You're never going to trick your way into getting more reps or doing more than your absolute really is. But to achieve what your absolute truly is in any given set, it's exactly what we went over in that first example. It's hitting those sequences every single rep. I had a cycle where I was doing pause Romanian deadlifts for a while, kind of in the higher rep zone, higher for me, like 8 to 10. And I kept catching myself. Every once in a while, I would just skip the brace on a rep. I would do the air, I would do the tongue pressed up, but I wouldn't flex the abs. And go figure, that rep, I would feel it more in my back. It would come up slower. It didn't do me any favors, but it continued to happen until I did exactly what I'm talking about now. No, motherfucker. Every single rep gets the same treatment. Air, abs, in the case of the RDL, lat pack, hinging at the hips, soft knees, chest is high, not to the point where it's an arch, but chest is high to the point where I'm not getting flexed over. So as I'm going into all this detail, I guess number one would be knowing the perfect best cues for any given lift. That's kind of step one, because without those, this whole thing doesn't really work. So step one is learning the very best cues for every single exercise. Every exercise shares this. Are they more important on like a squat or a deadlift or something a little more complex? For sure, but even a freaking curl, even a lateral raise, a freaking calf raise, every exercise has a worst, a better, and a best way to execute it. As far as your kinesthetic awareness, the timing, the cadence, all of these things, right? And really, if you're looking to know what all of those best cues are, sooner than later, it's very simple. You just DM me on Instagram. You hop on the team. It's online coaching that doesn't really exist anywhere else because it's from a real trainer that's really going to talk to you, that's really going to progress every single set of every single exercise in your personalized plan. I go to great lengths to make my online training as similar to in-person training as it can get, which is pretty rare. So that would be the shortcut, is hollering at your boy. But once you have those cues understood, known, and mastered, it's hitting those sequences, man. It's hitting the freaking sequences. Like I said, you're never going to sneak your way into the 6 rep max. You're never gonna, oh, maybe I'll trick myself and I skipped that one step. And because of that, I was able to add that rep I've been looking for. It's not how it works. It's not how it works. But if you master your timing, your breathing, your tension, your kinesthetic awareness, your postural awareness, where every limb is in space and time, when to bend, how much to bend, when to straighten, how much to straighten. And this sounds like complex, right? It's like, damn, can we just lift some weights? Can we just get after it? But like anything else, the more you do this, pretty soon it's like, it's very ironed in here. It's very imprinted in your brain, in your neural wiring. And it becomes a lot more accessible and less of like, what's next? What? Oh, abs. Like, I'm not saying go through a mental checklist where it takes 20 seconds to do one rep. The goal is for this to be somewhat automatic and automated the more you do it. But even then, you can get into some trouble. I got this. My body knows what to do. And then you end up skipping a cue here and there. Anyways, that has completely changed my lifting. It's completely changed my confidence in the weight room, because every exercise, I know the very best way to do it. That instills confidence. And then I do it in that way. That instills confidence. And then because of that, I'm getting PRs more often than not. That instills confidence. It's this compounding effect where there's so many benefits and literally zero cons. There's no reason in my mind not to train this way. So I wanted to share that with you. Hope that helps, and I'll see you in the next one.